Hi people, Tjena from sunny Stockholm. It's very wonderful feeling today that despite being here in the largest city in Northern Europe, it feels very comfortable, it feels very warm and sunny. It's almost like the summertime is already here. It's middle of March. I'm starting this live stream now or live video for around 20 minutes uh, because at the moment I am following the war in Ukraine, also when it comes to usage of cryptocurrencies, because what's happening now, it's very interesting if you look more like on the modern history of our world, when cryptocurrencies are used now for the first time in very large numbers during the war, mainly in order to support the Ukrainian state, Ukrainian community in general. So it's not the first time that cryptocurrencies are used, let's say during like armed conflict or a war. In fact, like cryptocurrencies were used already 8 years ago when Russia invaded Ukraine for the first time, during the annexation of Crimea. And the difference now is that the cryptocurrencies are used in much, much larger numbers, and also that there is a difference between the Ukrainian government and the Russian government when it comes on more, let's say, official views, official policies regarding crypto. You can say that one of the reasons why Ukraine is enjoying more support among cryptocurrency communities, like, let's say, for example, Bitcoin users or Polkadot or Tezos, is partly because the Ukrainian government has been, how to say, developing a more positive attitude, more positive policies regarding crypto compared to Russia, which basically has been implementing more similar policies as China, so to say. So, yeah, so here I just want to give you some insights. I also want to answer your questions. If you have any questions about crypto, Ukraine, and Russia, and also like to give you some of the latest updates that's taking place. And if you want to have more information, I will put it here in the comment list. You can follow my blog via Substack. It's called Ukraine Crypto War. And there is not only a blog, but there is also a link for the for a Telegram channel. Now, Telegram is very interesting because it's not only that's a popular application, I would say it's only one of the the few good products made in Russia for the last, I don't know, let's say 10 years. Basically designed by a very anti-Putin entrepreneur and libertarian guy called Pavel Durov. This is because Telegram is very hard to, let's say, it's very hard for governments to read what people are writing in Telegram because Telegram is very hard to, how to say, to decodify, to survey if you're now the Russian government. So this is why many people in Russia are using Telegram, especially those who are, let's say, anti-Putin, anti-Russian government at the moment, because it's a way for them to be able to write things, exchange opinions, express themselves without fearing that how to say, the Russian government could hack their accounts. Of course, Russian government can read, they can try to read who is writing what, but it's kind of very hard for the government to break it down. So anyway, now if you speak about what's happening in Ukraine regarding crypto, is that only during the first week of the war, so now we are speaking at, let's say, the end of February, the last week of February, or the last days of February, let's say from 25th to 28th, Ukrainian government received around 12 million of American dollars, similar sum now in crypto donations, everything from Bitcoin to Ethereum to Litecoin, Tezos, you name it. And this is only, what the Ukrainian government has received on its official accounts. You have to also keep in mind that many individual Ukrainians have received crypto on their, let's say, more kind of personal wallets. And another part of the discussion regarding crypto is when it comes to Russia. So discussion is like if Russia is going to be able to use cryptocurrencies in order to avoid sanctions. And this is something, for example, now some political celebrities, let's say like Hillary Clinton, which in my view is a quite, let's say, statist and collectivist politician, they are now kind of saying that there should be more regulation, more control over cryptocurrencies, or even ban on cryptocurrencies, because let's say the Russian government could use it. But the thing is that most of the experts, or experts in general, they disagree that Russia could actually use crypto in order to, let's say, avoid the sanctions. And this is very much, let's say, there are several reasons. Like one of them is that the amount of money Russia would need is simply too big. There are many people around the world. For example, I think there are more than 100 million users of Bitcoin at the moment. But even if all of them would donate, let's say, 1 Bitcoin per person to Russia, like theoretically speaking, it would be a very large sum of money, but it would simply not be enough for the whole Russia to, as a nation, not only as part as a state, if you now speak about bureaucracy, administration, but also society in general, it will simply not be enough in order to, let's say, more efficiently avoid the impact of the political, social, and economic sanctions that are taking place at the moment. And another reason is because the Russian government, as I mentioned earlier, has, let's say, a history of being anti-crypto, being, let's say, having a negative attitude towards cryptocurrencies, which is not surprising because cryptocurrencies are seen like symbols or like synonyms for personal freedom, for decentralization, for avoiding governments, for creating alternatives to government system, public money, for decentralized cooperation between individuals, meaning that I can now cooperate with people around the world without using a bank account or using a government institution. In practice, it means I don't need, let's say, Western Union to transfer money to another person or some other bank. I can just do it directly as a member of a crypto community, or just transfer money on some crypto that like Bitcoin or similar. So this is the case when it comes to Russia, that why should a dictatorship, authoritarian, and very disgusting, more or less criminal government be in favor of cryptocurrencies? Now, of course, there are, let's say, probably, let's say, Russian, let's say, nationalist and war supporting politicians who would like to get some bitcoins for their personal accounts, personal money. But the thing is, that will still not be, let's say, enough for Russia as a whole to avoid the political sanctions at the moment. So let's see. So far, no questions. I will just post one more thing regarding crypto. I think there's a very good article. I just have to find it here in my bookmarks. There's a very good article regarding when it comes to this, like if Russia could, what experts are saying about Russia and sanctions. Just to find the folder. Okay, you are in crypto. Let's see. If Russia could use. Now, I know that politicians, like even in the European Union, are now saying that crypto has to be more regulated, but I think that they are just misusing the situation. It's a little bit like with Hillary Clinton. She now, politicians like her are now promoting that kind of crypto should be more controlled or banned because of Russia. But it's more like they are just misusing the situation to act against crypto in general. They don't like cryptocurrencies because they have different political views. They believe in some kind of a big government deciding what's good for you. That government should have more control over society, or what's happening in your personal life. And of course, because they don't like crypto, they are now kind of misusing the situation in order to act against it. But the good thing is that crypto actually, at the moment, if you look now at crypto donations and how many cryptocurrency communities are acting, it's more beneficial for Ukraine. So crypto now is more used, let's say, to support Ukraine as a democratic society, as a democratic community. And this is why I personally I'm very happy that people are providing crypto donations to Ukraine. I know that there are problems. For example, crypto is also used for, let's say, buying weapons. Now, if you are, let's say, more pacifist person or a more, anti-war person, you think this is very wrong. But also, you can provide crypto to individual Ukrainians, members of the Ukrainian community. You can also provide crypto for civilian purposes, like supporting refugees, supporting, providing food to people in Ukraine, and so on. So this is a good thing that, because crypto is also about decentralized democracy, that people who are engaged in crypto communities, they also participate in democratic procedures. And one of my personal, let's say, favorite cryptos is actually called Tezos. It's based on supporting smart contract like business operations. And this is a crypto that is partly developed, or even, let's say, mainly developed in Ukraine. So this is now, let's say, when Ukrainian crypto entrepreneurs are now using Tezos in order to support their general community. Let's just find you some very good link regarding that on Twitter. Let's see. And I'm personally investing in Tezos partly because it has a passive income system. So it means the more Tezos you buy and you give it to a baker, now baker is a little bit similar as a miner as in the Bitcoin system, the more money you can get like every month, like in rewards. Let's see now, Tezos Ukraine, so to say. Okay, so this is a very interesting crypto. I can recommend you to use it, especially if you are, let's say, more interested like in business operations and so on. Okay, I'll try even to post this picture just a moment regarding Tezos. I think this one is very wonderful. And yeah, if you have any questions, now it's the time, because as I mentioned, this session is gonna last only for around 20 minutes. So it means that it's like less than 10 minutes left at the moment. So let's see if I can make a post of the picture. Apparently not in the live chat for some reason. It doesn't matter, I can do it later as well. So let's say, or I can try to save it and post it. No, it's not gonna work. Yeah. So anyway, the general lessons learned is that the crypto at the moment is more beneficial from Ukraine. Ukraine has much more support than Russia from members of different crypto communities, of people who are owning crypto, and basically, let's say Ukraine has an upper hand at the moment. They simply have the Ukrainian community has more sympathy and more support, so to say. Let's see now. Yeah, and if you want to learn more about what's happening, there's a Telegram channel I've created, Ukraine Crypto War. There is a Substack blog, and I'm gonna try to post things like one post per day. This depends on, of course, how much time I have, and it also depends like on the rewards I'm getting. Because everything I'm doing is on my voluntary basis and outside of my regular work. So in order to let's say post more, I'm also depending on more how to say rewards, so to say. Yeah. So yeah. So let's see now. Community standards. Yeah. So another interesting case when it comes to crypto in Ukraine. There are also many opinions that like all Russians, let's say all crypto owners in Russia should be kind of banned from these cryptocurrency trading portals like Binance or Ethereum, and how you call them, like similar places like Bitstamp. I think this is a very bad idea, and it's also not in line with democratic values. It's not in line with, let's say, equal quality treatment principle. Why? Because this would mean that you are being blocked from crypto or using crypto only because you're Russian. Doesn't matter if you are pro Putin or against Putin. Doesn't matter if on your personal values. And I'm very against this kind of like idea of collective punishment and collectivist view on humans. And I think that's important to that people in Russia who are anti-war, anti-Putin can use crypto. They can get donations. They can get support. They can even try to use crypto to create a political alternative to create democratic alternative because in Russia, because I don't think that Russia as a dictatorship is gonna exist forever, because I think that at some point the whole system of Putinism and the Russian authoritarian government, it's simply gonna disappear. It's simply gonna collapse. Now there is a very bad alternative that replacing per Putin could even be worse than Putin, or there's a good alternative that replacing per Putin could be more like a more, let's say, a democratic regime and so on. So to say, yeah, let's see. Let's moment. So yeah, so these are some interesting developments now if we speak about crypto. Now the question is also how much money, more money could Ukraine, receive? Because so far, according to recent estimates, Ukraine has received around more, let's say, 60 million of American dollars, equivalent amount of money in crypto donations, like everything from Bitcoin, Litecoin, Polkadot, Tezos, you name it. And this is not a large sum of money. This is helping the Ukrainian government at the moment, but it's not like it's very critical. It's not decisive. It's not like it's a big game changer. But anyway, it's making a difference. $60 million of money, it's better than zero. It's better than no money. And I think that after the war, now, the question is when it's going to end. After the war, it means that Ukraine could probably even get even more support among crypto communities, because now more people around the world who are into crypto, they know more about Ukraine. They are more interested in Ukraine. They are more familiar with Ukraine, and they simply have, let's say, more sympathy with Ukraine than we have than with Russia, so to say. Just a moment. You get very dry when you're making live videos like in your mouth. So, let's see if there are any questions. Nothing yet. Yeah, yeah. Usually I get some questions like even after the chat or the live video, because then I have contacts in different time zones, around the world. So right now it's morning time here in Sweden, in Northern Europe. And of course, like in other parts of the world, like in America, people are still, let's say, sleeping and so on. So to say, alright, so now it's almost 18 minutes of my talk. So the last 2 minutes are getting closer. After the live video, I will actually download it and I will put it on YouTube, so I can partly post it on my blog, and also that I can how to say, share it like in different channels, different groups. Anyway, if you'd like to learn more, as I mentioned earlier, you can follow my blog on Substack. You can also follow my Telegram channel. I'm gonna make like one post per day or something similar. And also, if you're into crypto yourself, I'm very thankful if you can reward my content creation. Partly because, as I mentioned earlier, like I'm doing everything on my voluntary basis and outside of my regular work. So yeah, good, good. So one last thing I can actually mention is that there's an article also now in the, if you read The Economist. I will put the link here in the under the video. It's also regarding, it's called like why crypto is unlikely to be used for sanction dodgers, and there you can also find some interesting information. Why, let's say, crypto is not like some silver bullet solution for Russia. Why it's not gonna, let's say, help Russia as a government in this case. So now I'm gonna end the video. So thank you very much for listening, and please follow my channels, my crypto blog, and you can also follow my YouTube channel regarding crypto that I'm gonna post later in the video description. So thank you very much, and I wish you a pleasant day. Ciao.